So as moms, ladies and gents, welcome to week 13 of our refurb of the 8 studios, 3 ensuite rooms and 1 office here at Edgbaston Roadies. Majority of the work has been done upstairs this week as we're working our way down with the boarding and plastering, so it'll be a quick one, so let me show you what we have been up to. So, plaster, boarding and plaster, that's all we've been up to this week. That's what we'll continue to do until the whole house is plastered. Really making an emphasis on getting it done in stages. This will all be getting done at the weekend as we're splitting the job up and we're getting a team of plasterers in to help us gain the lost time. We've got a bit of bonding in that corner to make a bit of an arch so it can be one mix for the whole wall. So that's what we've been getting the bonding for today. I tell you what, love the smell of wet plaster. This will be the light well out of the stairs for the whole corridor. Still a bit of scrim in to do here, but other than that, we're getting there. Right, and that's the end of week 13 here at our Edgbaston Roadies that we're going to call Kennedy's Corner. I'm going to plaster my name on it. Every building that I possibly can, so in 100 years in the future they could change it because I was a bad person. I'm just kidding, obviously. So we're going to get the mezzanine done and one of the rooms done by a second team of plasterers at the weekend. We managed to find somebody who wants a bit of extra work. Really happy with the progress now. We're going to see it take shape. We've got the doors arriving soon, so they'll start going in, as well as we're going to order the kitchens this weekend. And then pretty much all the materials that we need are on site apart from the paint. So there's going to be just a labour spend now as opposed to materials. So I'll begin to get a bit of a hint of how much this will cost overall. And we're looking like we're going to smash the main contractor's initial quote, and that was without the mezzanine. So we had a quote for £210,000 without the mezzanines just to do en suites, and we've changed it. There's been loads of structural works that's been added on that wasn't included in the main quote. So I reckon we're looking at a saving of about 35 to 40% of what a main contractor would cost. Obviously, lots of admin, lots of problems to overcome, lots of learning, and I'm constantly spending more money on my education. Oh, okay, battery just went dead, so one of them is being prepared. So I think it's worth it if you're going to really sort of hammer it home and make this as a business for a long time, set up the construction side of it, because you're going to save you the cost. It's very fashionable to talk about leverage. I get that it's good to talk about leverage, but you're going to pay for it. Like just today, I'm already chatting with somebody who was offered a turnkey solution, and it's going to cost them an extra 50-40% more because the builder turned out to be a twat. They've threatened the person, they've had to put CCTV in, change the locks because they've done a poor service. They've ruined the relationship with the architects and the planning consultants because this person who was offering the turnkey solution, which I'm hoping the victim will allow me to name later because it's really bad what they've done. I just really cannot give up the emphasis enough of how you should keep control if you want to do this. Try not to leverage this side of the business out, because for every one company there is like this, and this is only here for me to use, and occasionally I do other people's. There are 30-40 companies that really do a subpar job, and if you're in that range where you want the cheaper contractor but you don't want to go for the professional one because the prices tend to double, because then they're in the realms of dealing with sort of like QSs, making sure you've got your health and safety consultants, all the whole sort of proliferate of things that really do rise the cost of a job because they do it properly, as opposed to those jack the lads around the corner who just get in, get the job done. It's risky to get those people in. So this is why, if you're going to do this, it's worth investing the time, getting in the right lane. I've mentioned this a few times now, of learning how the construction process works and taking control of it. Because now, for example, the lady who has to go get another main contractor, it's going to cost her more because the second main contractor will for sure take her desperation, take her neediness, take the situation and take advantage of it by charging more, because rightly so, he's going to have to go into that area and find what is wrong with the work, rectify it, and if you don't know if it's right or wrong, you're leaving yourself to being open. So make sure you pick the right person, and to pick the right person, you have to spend. Guys, it's not cheap. Like, we've been burned by going for the guy who had the gift of the gab but then didn't deliver, and we paid double what the initial price was. And I wish I'd gone for that little more expensive quote, because service and getting it done, getting the delivery done on time and within the realms of possibility and not being lied to and overcoming the problems, it's so much less stress-free as opposed to trying to get it done on the cheap. So before you undertake a big HMO project, I'm going to keep saying, change your bathroom first, change your kitchen, change an ensuite, change your living room, learn the process slowly but surely. Don't jump into a big HMO. It's really, really stupid to do that unless you've got somebody holding your hand who knows the business inside out, because you're just opening yourself up to get burnt. And before you've got a big portfolio, a big, like, say 50 unit portfolio, you are so exposed when you've only got 1 or 2 deals, because if the first 2 go badly, you can't really shoulder that loss. That's the case with me anyway. I'm just really fortunate it happened on our 4th deal, not our first, because we would have been ruined. If that had happened on our first, we'd have been ruined. And we were able to swallow the loss and basically grow out of it. There would be no KNL, there would be no Steadfast if this, what happened to us at King's Eve, happened on our first deal. So my advice here, guys, is either pay, like, if you don't want to get yourself a construction company and learn about the ins and outs of it, you're going to have to pay the people who know what they're doing. And that means maybe it's 60-70% more than the other quotes, than, like, say, Bobby around the corner who will do it when they say they do it, and you get a really poor service and you end up having to redo it. So you've only really got 2 choices: learn it and take control and sub out the trade yourself or set up your own construction company, or pay the price of the more professional firms. Don't become another stat or statistic or victim. Initially, this was really hard to do, and those of you who have followed, I lost money on the first deal, we underpriced it massively. So I went into this not knowing what to do, but that's the risk. And then the second deal that we did for us, we spent 80,000 on 4 units, but that was with a new roof. I still think it was worth it because of the rent. It was a bit of an experiment. It paid off. This is where we're really going to save the money on this deal. The Edgbaston, 33 Edgbaston that we did for a client, we didn't make that much. It was only just a little bit because I got better at quoting, and now we're beginning to really find our stride. I know sort of what we're worth, what's out there. So it's taken about a year before we've become profitable and we've started making money rather than losing. And the lessons of streaming the process of building a HMO are now all being brought into this property here, and it's going to be vastly cheaper than if I would have made a main contract to deliver this project versus me setting it up, maybe making a few mistakes, maybe making a few wasteful purchases, but overall, as I've learned, I've continued to educate myself. I think this is worth it. If you're going to build a big portfolio and you are going to be involved in some sort of development, my advice is ignore the popular term leverage. How can you grow? If you're always on site, if you're always like, hire it, learn the process yourself, hire it in, teach that person the process you want to learn. You want your projects delivered, and that's how you leverage. You keep everything in house, and I can't advocate this path more. It's now really becoming to fruition. I'm seeing the results. Everything's getting done to the standard. Everyone knows what I want. I don't have to repeat myself because it's the same trades that I'm using. They're getting paid very well. Eventually we'll have an asset that's worth lots, regardless of a recession or not. Over the long term, I know it's going to win. So my advice is get in-house construction teams if you're going to be doing lots of projects. It's worth it. We're sort of like coming into the year anniversary now. It was April a year, but we had a bit of an 8-week delay. We've had a few staff turnover. We've got rid of some sparks that I didn't like. We got rid of some staff that weren't as sort of in line with the vision that we want, and now we've got a really streamlined team. So it's not going to happen overnight, sure, I get that, but it's worth it, guys. If you're an investor and you want to get your own construction team, I advise it. And a good route to doing that is getting Steadfast in and watching how we do it and just copy it. There aren't enough builders. You'd think that somebody would be really guarded over how we run and all our intellectual property. Not at all. Like, get a quote, you'll see our quotes, you copy that. Get how we do our Gantt charts and how we plan our jobs, copy all that. And the reason why, there aren't enough builders that are good, that deliver, that provide service. For every one good builder, there are 10 bad ones. For every one promise kept, there are 10 broken. I really think it's that bad. So if you want to enter the market, do so. You'll get help. You'll get lots of help. I've found the more experience have been more than willing to help me get to where we are now, and we're reaping the benefits of that. So went off on a bit of tangent there, trying to settle my own competition, but really, I think you should do it. This is end of week 13 on a 13 unit project. I'm not including the 8-week break because we didn't work, so this is why the timeline hasn't slipped in my eyes. And the reason why I'm still happy to take that 8-week hit is because Jiggins Lane, our 8-bed, took 12 months. 8 beds took 12 months, and it isn't nowhere near as big as this. And this will still, only with an 8-week inclusion, will take about 7. So in the grand scheme of things, the rates are better for us because we're a more experienced firm, and the product's going to be much better because I get no call-outs from our York Road deal or our most recent HMOs. Our call-outs are all from our older stuff. So yeah, I'm really still thrilled with the progress, where we are, where we're getting to, and how long it'll take. I still reckon it's going to be 24 weeks. We're coming into the halfway point. Although it may not seem like there's much left to do, plastering takes a long time. We haven't done the top floor yet. We've still got quite a bit to do. We've got the mezzanines, we've got the en-suites, and that really soaks up a lot of weeks. So, follow the progress. I am going to start to explore the idea of doing a tour now that the site is a lot more safer and it's a nice wide open space without the materials here. So, if you're interested in that, drop us a comment, and if there's enough demand, I'll see if I can implement it. I'll be honest, I can't really be asked to do it if it's going to be 1 or 2 people, because a whole day it's not really worth the time. But if there's enough of you and I can facilitate it, I will. Right, have a good weekend. And now I'm going to make a video about my quest to get bonding and multi-finish.